There's a whole lot to keep track of in this election.
But that's why we have our political correspondent, Joe St. George, joining us live this morning from Washington, D.C. We're glad to have you with us. And we have to say it's pretty unusual, though, for there not to be projected winners in so many states now 2 days after the election.
Right, we all have to have our patience with this one, right? But it's a historic election. We've never seen turnout like this in an election. We've been in the middle of a pandemic. So many people have voted in different ways in so many states than ever before. So not a huge surprise that it's taking this long. Again, the only way we were really going to have a true answer by now is if it was a runaway victory for Donald Trump or Joe Biden. That's just not the case. I mean, it is a close election.
And Joe, we had the state of Nevada, for instance, come out last night and say, okay, we're going to bed. We got to get a break. We got to let these counters get some sleep. We know they're so busy. You've got your finger.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. You got your finger on the pulse of what's happening there from our nation's capital. I mean, a lot of people are expecting electoral votes to be awarded at some point today. Do you think we can expect that maybe by this afternoon?
Yeah, we're going to get a big update in Nevada. 6 crucial electoral college votes out west. And we're going to get a big update about 9 a.m. Pacific time from Nevada election officials. There's still a lot of votes to be counted in the Las Vegas area. That's why Joe Biden is optimistic, because if he's able to hold on to Arizona and hold on to Nevada and everywhere else shakes out, it doesn't really matter what happens in Pennsylvania. Joe Biden is the president-elect of the United States. But again, if you're waking up in Nashville, waking up in Tennessee, wondering what happened overnight, President Trump's lead shrunk in Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's lead shrunk in Arizona. So it's still very close in a lot of crucial states.
And while we've got you, what about the possibility of a recount in Wisconsin? After the AP called the state for Biden yesterday, the Trump campaign said it wanted one.
Right. Look, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, if you're running for city council or president of the United States. If you're in a close race and you think you got a shot, you do whatever you can to try to change the outcome of the election. Now, in Wisconsin, it's about a 20,000 vote lead for Joe Biden. If you look at the history of recounts in this country, recounts rarely flip those margins. In 2000, the Florida recount, I think it was about 1,200 votes that changed. Other recounts changed maybe 100-200 votes. 20,000 is a substantial lead in Wisconsin. Very doubtful that a recount would change that outcome.
And it seems like, Joe, just kind of gauging the pulse here, there's a lot of confusion of people needing to understand that all votes aren't necessarily tallied in a close election on election night. It's why we're still counting. This is a relatively normal process, even if it's frustrating for a lot of Americans. And also kind of explain that these are absentee ballots that are being counted. The votes that were done on election day, real-time votes, so to speak, were counted first. And now a lot of these Biden votes that are coming in are actually these absentee ballots in some of these states like Nevada and Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania.
Well, just think about it. Voting by a machine, pressing a machine, that sends to a computer. It's a hard drive. It's plugged in. The results are popped up. We get results pretty quickly. But when you have to open envelopes, in many states, 2 envelopes, and then run that through one machine and then tabulate it in another, it's a time-consuming process. And in Pennsylvania, crucial state, they weren't allowed to start beginning that process until actually election day, and that's why the result from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is so delayed. But look, crucial states to keep an eye on: Arizona, Nevada, PA, and Georgia. We'll keep looking at those, and perhaps by the end of the day, there'll be a major projection in this race.
All right, Joe St. George from Washington, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.